Hey there, 10th standard students. A massive welcome to all of you joining us today. If you're gearing up for your CBSE board exams and diving into democratic politics, you are exactly in the right place. Today, we're going to completely master Chapter 4, Political Parties. Now, I know civics can sometimes feel like just a giant wall of text, but in this explainer, we're going to break the whole thing down. We're making it logical, we're making it visual, and most importantly, incredibly easy to remember. By the end of this, you're going to have total conceptual mastery over how the political machinery of our country actually works. All right, let's dive right in. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. What are they? 2. Functions. 3. Party systems. 4. National versus state parties. 5. Challenges and reforms. And finally, 6. Check your understanding.
Okay, Section 1, what are political parties? Let's get the absolute basics down first.
People are always blaming political parties for everything that's wrong with our democracy, right? You see party symbols painted on walls, you hear those super loud debates on the news, and it's so easy to be critical of them. Because they face so much criticism, it's actually completely natural to ask this foundational question: do we really even need political parties at all? To answer that, I want you to just imagine a situation without them. Imagine if every single candidate in an election was just completely independent. What happens? Well, no one would be able to make any major policy promises to the people. An independent representative will be accountable to their local constituency, sure, but absolutely no one will be taking responsibility for how the entire country is run. The whole utility of the government would just remain totally uncertain. And that brings us to our core definition, straight out of your NCERT textbook. A political party is simply a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. They agree on certain policies for the society to promote the collective good. Now, obviously, society has tons of different views on what is actually good, so parties reflect the fundamental political divisions in a society. And this brings us to a really important keyword for your exams: partisan. A partisan is a person who is strongly committed to a party or group, marked by a tendency to, well, take a side. Oh, and remember this: structurally, every single political party has 3 crucial components. You've got the leaders at the top, the active members doing the groundwork, and the millions of followers who actually vote for them. Moving right along to Section 2, functions of political parties. What do these guys actually do? Once a party is formed with its leaders, members, and followers, what exactly is its day job? Basically, political parties fill political offices and exercise power by performing these core functions. First off, they contest elections. In India, top party leaders are usually the ones who choose the candidates for this. Second, they put forward different policies and programs. Think about it like a giant puzzle. A vast multitude of public opinions needs to be grouped together to give a government actual direction. Parties are the ones doing that grouping. Third, the winning parties form and run governments by recruiting and training leaders to become ministers. Fourth, and this is crucial, the losing parties don't just disappear. No way. They play the vital role of the opposition, voicing different views and constantly keeping the government in check. Their 5th major function is shaping public opinion. For example, you'll often see activists, like from the CPIM, CPI, and others, taking out protest rallies. There's a great example of a rally in Bhubaneswar in your textbook that highlights this perfectly. Parties literally have lakhs of members and activists spread all over the country. They raise issues, they highlight problems, and sometimes they launch massive movements to resolve issues faced by everyday people. And that beautifully illustrates their final key function: providing access to government machinery and welfare schemes. Think about it. For an ordinary citizen, navigating complex government bureaucracy can be super intimidating. So it's often much easier to just approach a local party leader than a government officer to get help. Parties have to be responsive to people's needs. Otherwise, the people will simply reject them in the next elections. It's as simple as that. All right, Section 3, types of party systems. Let's zoom out for a global perspective. So how many major parties are actually good for a democracy? Let's compare the 3 main types of party systems here. First up, the one-party system, where literally only one party is allowed to control the government. In China, for example, only the Communist Party is allowed to rule. As you can guess, this isn't really considered a democratic option. Next, we have the two-party system. Countries like the USA and the UK might have several smaller parties, but power almost always changes hands between just 2 main ones. And finally, the multi-party system, which is what we have right here in India. Several parties compete for power, and often no single party gets a clear majority, so they have to join hands to form a coalition government. You might also hear this called an alliance or a front. Think of the NDA or the UPA. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, which system is the best? Actually, the textbook gives a really profound answer to this. That's kind of the wrong question to ask. Why? Because a party system isn't something a country can just pick from a menu. It evolves over a really long time. It depends on the nature of society, its history, and its elections. India evolved a multi-party system because our immense social and geographical diversity simply cannot be absorbed by just 2 or 3 parties. The truth is, no single system is ideal for all countries. Section 4, National and State Parties. Let's look at how we classify them in India. Did you know there are more than 750 parties registered with the Election Commission of India? That is a lot of parties. To organize them, the EC uses a very specific data matrix. Now, the EC treats all parties equally, but it offers special facilities, like unique election symbols, to large established parties. These are officially called recognized political parties. Take a look at this strict mathematical criteria. I'm telling you, this is an absolute favorite for board exams, so definitely take notes here. To be recognized as a state party, a party must secure at least 6% of the total votes in an election to the Legislative Assembly of a state, and win at least 2 seats. Now, to become a national party, the hurdle is much higher. A party must secure at least 6% of the total votes in Lok Sabha elections or assembly elections in 4 states, and they have to win at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha. Based on this strict math, India has several recognized national parties. Let's impartially look at a few of them exactly as they're outlined in your curriculum, complete with their official election commission symbols. First, represented by the lotus, is the Bharatiya Jayana Party, or BJP, founded in 1980 by reviving the erstwhile Bharatiya Jana Sangh. According to your text, its guiding philosophy is to build a strong, modern India, drawing inspiration from ancient culture and Deen Dayal Upadhyaya's ideas of integral humanism. Then we have the Bahujan Samaj Party, or BSP, represented by the elephant. Formed in 1984 under the leadership of Ken Shri Ram, it seeks to represent and secure power for the Bahujan Samaj, which includes Dalits, Adivasis, OBCs, and religious minorities. Next up, we have the Aam Aadmi Party, or AAP, represented by the broom. This was formed more recently in November 2012, following the 2011 anti-corruption movement, and it was founded on the idea of clean administration and transparency. Beside that, with the hammer, sickle, and star, is the Communist Party of India Marxist, or CPIM. Founded in 1964, it believes in Marxism-Leninism, supports socialism and secularism, and strongly opposes imperialism. We also have the Indian National Congress, or the INC. Founded way back in 1885, it's literally one of the oldest parties in the world. Your textbook describes its ideological orientation as centrist, meaning neither rightist nor leftist, espousing secularism and the welfare of weaker sections. And let's not forget the National People's Party, or NPP, formed in 2013 under P.A. Sangma. This one is super notable because it's the first political party from Northeast India to attain national party status, with a core philosophy centered on education, employment, and empowerment. But wait, aside from these national giants, most major parties are actually regional, state parties. And what's truly fascinating is their historical impact. You see, over the last 3 decades, no single national party was able to secure a majority on its own until 2014. This completely compelled national parties to form alliances with these regional state parties. And honestly, this has beautifully contributed to strengthening the spirit of federalism and democracy across our entire country.
Section 5, Challenges and Democratic Reforms. Let's look at the roadblocks.
For political parties to remain effective instruments of democracy, they really need to overcome 4 specific challenges. Think of these as the villains of our story. Challenge number 1, the lack of internal democracy. Power tends to just concentrate in one or a few leaders at the top. Ordinary members rarely get sufficient information or a real say in the decisions. Number 2, dynastic succession. Because there are rarely transparent procedures, leaders often just favor people close to them, or even their own family members, for top positions, which is totally unfair to the ordinary hardworking party workers. Number 3, the growing role of money and muscle power. Since the focus is purely on winning, parties might nominate very rich candidates or even support criminals, which gives wealthy donors way too much undue influence over policies. And finally, number 4, a lack of meaningful choice. Often the fundamental ideological differences among all the major parties shrink, leaving voters feeling like they don't have a truly distinct alternative to pick from. So how on earth do we fix all this? Interestingly, the book cautions that over-regulating political parties with super strict legal solutions can actually backfire because parties will just find sneaky ways to cheat the law. Instead, true reform has to come from the grassroots. First, citizens can put pressure on parties through petitions, agitation, and the media. When parties feel like they're going to lose public support if they don't clean up their act, they become a lot more serious about reform. Second, and this is the most important part, ordinary citizens who actually want change must join political parties themselves. As the textbook so wisely puts it, the problem of bad politics can be solved by more and better politics.
All right, we've made it to Section 6, Check Your Understanding. Time to test your knowledge.
Let's see how well you've mastered this chapter by tackling an exercise straight from the back of your textbook. Ready? Who among the following is the founder of the Bahujan Samaj Party? Is it A. Kanshiram, B. Sahu Maharaj, C. B.R. Ambedkar, or D. Jyotiba Phule? I'll give you a quick second to lock in your answer at home. Think back to those party profiles we just discussed. Got it? And the correct answer is A. Kanshiram. Formed in 1984 under his leadership, the party seeks to represent the Bahujan Samaj. If you got that right, you are absolutely well on your way to acing this chapter in your board exams. Great job.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. It's actually the exact same question we started this explainer with. If every candidate in your area was independent, who would take responsibility for how the whole country is run? It's the ultimate proof that despite all their flaws, political parties are the essential building blocks that hold a massive, diverse democracy like India together. Without them, local representation exists, sure, but the national vision completely collapses. Keep that concept in mind as you revise. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep studying hard, keep asking great questions, and I will see you in the next explainer.